Before we get started, there's been a change to the agenda. At the applicant's request, the level 1 application for 80 townhouse units and the level 1 application for the Port of Call development of the Waves District has been postponed to further notice.
Excuse me, is that item 6 and 7?
Yes, no, 7 and 8.
No, 6 and 7.
The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the November 20th, 24 meeting. Anybody want to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Okay. The minutes from the November 20th, board chair and the vice chair for 2025.
I second.
Okay.
I second.
The third item is reappointment of Elena Whitehead. I recommend that we reappoint 4. It's level 1 application for 5 attached single-story residential units on the southwest corner of Orange Avenue and Buchanan Avenue. This was from the last meeting, I believe.
Yes, this is continued. You all had, you heard the item in November, and
Right.
the applicant is here.
It's going to be, so what exactly, who's going to own and live in this development? Is it going to be rental? It's going to be for rentals. And so your aversion to having two.
Issue that I have with 2 stories would be that if you shrink them and put 6 units on that same piece of property, when you have 2 stories, you're also going to have to put in a staircase, which makes the unit extremely tight. So 1 stories look good. With respect to, not necessarily. More than happy to take 55 plus, but I'd be just as happy to take 55 minus.
Okay.
But they're strictly for rental, they're not for resale, they're not like a townhouse where they're going to have individual
No,
titles.
my wife and I really, I mean, you don't
Okay.
know us, and I realize that.
Right.
We don't buy and typically flip properties. We've owned properties, and we've owned them for a long time. Our intent with this property is to own it for.
And some buttonwood trees, and I guess it's just not shown there, considerable amount of trees there that I can't really see from, I didn't get a packet when I came in, so, but I did study this, at home, so I wanted to find out,
No landscaping in the rear.
right, so, that you can see, that you're gonna plant like 44?
More than the front of the property. I think the front of the property looks nice.
Yeah, that's the front.
Yeah, but the rear of the property has a buttonwood hedge.
I think you're pointing to the front of the oh, sorry.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
that's
Okay.
the back of the property.
She was right, I needed my glasses. Those are bushes.
Or-
You better take this one, I don't know what to make.
Very blue.
so this is a lot, better drawing to be looking at as far as you can see.
This comes out a lot better with your questions on the glass, the windows above the garages.
Yes.
The ceiling will be a high cathedral that slopes back, and that light will shine in the foyer and the kitchen and the entryway, and will bring a lot of light in there.
Behind the garage.
Behind the
into
garage,
unit.
but that's a really dark. Nonetheless. Just.
In the front, looks, contemporary and a very nice improvement for the area. New construction would be wonderful in that area as well. I would like to see it toned down a little bit from the blue. Maybe just. But there's-
Orange.
Orange, yeah, there's some townhouses on Orange there,
Yeah,
that are
right
fairly
behind
new, they're
us.
attached, yeah, over there. And then there's apartments across the street, I believe,
Yeah.
and some single-family homes down the street. I'm familiar with the street. I have property.
Into a driveway and cars parked, but yeah, we can put it in. We don't mind putting it in. The sidewalk goes actually on city property.
Right.
You have a 15-foot easement, and we'll put a
Right.
sidewalk in if that's what you want. There's no drives or anything, or we can put plants. We wouldn't mind putting some oak trees in that area.
I thought that was, they had to, new construction, put the sidewalks around and continue the sidewalk in Cape Canaveral.
Make a motion, we approve with the sidewalk and, I guess, the condition of the color of the units.
What color? I'm hearing,
Are you going to choose another color that's a little bit toned down?
I can
Like
look
in a
at a
gray
shade
or a
that's
blue?
lower
We don't
that's
have a,
That he needs, that we would like to have him submit another color or tone it down? Or how would you like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
You would need to amend your motion.
okay, so yes, the board does have the ability, right, to impose a color. That is a condition of compatibility under your review standard. So he has submitted multiple renderings with different colors. What I'm hearing is the board prefers blue. So if the board prefers blue, you should make blue a condition of the approval tonight. If the board's not comfortable making the color decision, then, I would suggest to you that the application is not ready for approval yet, because you want more information. That makes sense? So you can make the decision tonight based on what's in your package and whatever qualifiers the applicant may want to make on color, or you can ask them to bring something else back to you on the color issue before you make the final decision.
Is one of the considerations. Documents that not having loud colors on the body of a house. I'm kind of trying to find a blue here that might
So-
make it easy for us.
So what you're saying is that you want us to make a motion to not approve this and come back for him to submit?
I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting to the board, if blue is the color that you prefer, because he has multiple renderings, then blue needs to be a condition of your approval. Now, if you want to get into more detail about what shade of blue, then, I'll leave that to the board to decide. But once you make a decision, this application is not coming back to you. You need to speak into the microphone. Be on the record, please.
Okay, well, because I'm still trying to get through this. So the motion, we made a motion,
Right, to
and
approve.
there's contingencies on that.
sidewalk,
The sidewalk
color blue.
and the blue and the size of the windows.
I don't know if we want to get involved in the size of windows.
Okay,
Good thing is there's 2 windows for each unit, right?
In the front, there's 2 windows for each unit,
Oh, okay.
except for the end ones have
are
sidewalks.
you,
Right.
And a window in the back with a glass sliding.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We can assure you, I've been here 40 years, they've been here 40 years. If you want a lighter shade of blue, that's not an issue. We're fine with that.
That doesn't look blue. It doesn't. Okay.
motion that we approve with the color blue and with the sidewalks.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Board Member Morgan,
I approve.
Board Member Paisley, Board Member Trulock,
Approve.
Vice Chair Nienstadt,
Or
or Chairman now.
All right, moving on to new business.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you all.
We have a review level 2 application for facade improvement at 8075 to 8085 North Atlantic Avenue. Connor or Brianna, would you like to fill us in?
Yes, the last two items that are heard tonight, as you described at the beginning of the meeting, are both here because they submitted Community Redevelopment Agency facade improvement grants for commercial properties. So this item, we have the applicants here, if you have questions. They are proposing essentially a facelift to the existing commercial part of the building. It's 2 units, it's 2 addresses along North Atlantic. So if you have questions, you see in the packet that staff did recommend approval. The Development Review Committee met earlier today and did the same.
So this is for the awning, right?
Yes.
They're going to put the awning. Okay, that's what I thought.
Give one of these, each one.
You can do that. I put it on here too. It's on there.
Yeah, that one.
Are you okay without the mouths? Are you okay with this?
Hi.
I'm sorry.
You could state your name for the board, please?
My name is Justo Naranjo.
And could you describe exactly what you're going to be doing to the building, please?
Well, the property is a yellow painted building right now with it's very dilapidated. It's got an awning there that's not very nice. Everything is really bad shape on the front of the building. And so I went and saw some architects and I want to make it real pretty. I want to change out the window sizes so that it matches, so it's all nice and uniform. I'd like to put in brand new awnings so it looks nice. And then later on, dress it up with stone and then a porcelain tile to match with nice colors. So it looks like a Starbucks or something like that, real pretty.
What do you mean by later on? Is this?
No, after I finish that, then it'll look really pretty. After I finish this project.
Yeah, but you said you were going to do the,
No, that's part of the job.
that's part of the job.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything.
so this is not, we're going to do this piece now and this other piece
No,
2
no,
years
no,
from
no,
now?
it's
Okay, great.
one
Just
and done.
Wanted to clarify, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
It looks very nice to me, much
But
improved.
nothing to the VFW that's,
Yeah, that's real pretty, the next door. Yeah, it's right
yeah,
next
it's
to
next
it.
door, is what.
Yeah, the murals. But there's a building to the west of us, the west of the VFW that has a similar vibe. It's very nice.
This is a big improvement.
Yeah. For sure.
I can show you the stone around the windows. I can give you an idea. So this would be the stone that would go alongside around the doorways.
Oh, yeah,
Stone
yeah.
like this, that would come up and then go around each one.
Yep.
And I think it comes out maybe 12 inches, 18 inches, something
Nice.
frames your doorway.
Very nice.
Doorways and gives you an entrance.
Yeah.
Then you'd have this porcelain tile that would come up to it that adds, when you see the colors,
Yep.
it's a great blend. Comes into it really nice. And then there's metal awnings that we're having made. I believe those are this color here. Which is an iron ore trim awnings. And then there's other little swatches that are for the black. Up top is like a jet black. And then there's a second, and it also has an outline on some of the edges. If you look carefully on the plans, have the other colors. It's more of a. There's numbers on the thing. I think it's, there's the 3. It's like a pinstripe on the thing, of arms that hold the awnings up. We have this
Okay,
one.
she has that picture up.
Yeah. It looks like a 6-inch strip on the very top that goes all the way across.
Okay,
Drip line.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
like
a drip
but
line
it-
on your roof.
Right, but it's actually, I think it's actually gonna be a gutter. Because the water falls forward,
Yeah.
so the gutter's gonna be basically a block. And the windows would be black as well.
These 2 units, they're vacant right now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I
There was
thought. A gym or something there?
there was a gymnasium and there was a
Thrift store.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand. The one gentleman passed away.
I didn't know
And
that.
the other lady was his wife.
Definitely an
Yeah,
improvement
it looks
to that
nice.
area. I walk by there every day. So it's,
To get going on it.
yeah,
Make it nice as soon as possible.
it's right near the promenade goes right by it. People walking around there and everything. It looks, what do you have any plans for the parking lot as far as that redoing?
Well, there's nothing I can do. The place only has 7 parking spaces.
No, I mean as far as improving, the
Surface.
But
surface of
they're
it.
there, they're fine. They're striped, right at the right amount of feet each one. Everything's pretty clean.
The condition
overall.
of it is good?
Yes.
Give this, because I was just saying you have this lovely new building.
Yeah.
It would offset it, beautifully to have
And the
everything
the
new.
parking lot's the parking lot now. That would be something if, I don't see anything wrong with the parking lot to
Okay.
have to address it now. And I'd really just love to tackle the front of that building,
Well,
put some people in there.
Well, I make a motion to approve.
I second. Renee, can you call the roll, please?
Board Member Morgan?
Approve.
Board Member Paisley?
Approve.
Board Member Trulock?
Approve.
And Chairman Neonstat.
Approve. All right. The next item of business, review level 2 application for mural at 8660 Astronaut Boulevard, the Mangrove Marketplace. Connor, Brianna,
Yes, we have a familiar applicant up here for same thing, the community redevelopment. I'll email y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a mural on the Mangrove Marketplace proposed. If you could scroll, it's the very last slide. On A1A, so within the boundary of the CRA, and it's before, because those 2 are continued. There it is.
There you go.
We're there. Okay, so we have the applicant here if you'd like to describe the project in detail, but the Development Review Committee did approve the item at their meeting earlier today. And so now you are the last step, the public meeting for it.
I have a question on this. So there are, so how many of the towers are you going to paint this on? Just one?
Yes.
Just one?
It's not, that's the artist rendering, and it's actually going to be a little bit smaller.
It's going to be smaller?
Just
No,
a little
not-
bit.
Fill that space.
No, it
Because we
should-
want, the trees are going to grow, so we kind of want to raise the bottom up as the landscaping gets prettier and more filled.
Oh, no, I would have, yeah.
You like the whole thing like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
yes.
much.
Yeah,
We
I
can-
was
we-
wanting it in all the towers.
That's what I was going to ask, if
because
there's
I
any way
thought-
they could do all of them,
It would really off,
or at least the two.
I don't know, how much money does
the
that?
end one has the sign.
This
The
is-
tie-tie.
the
sign.
tie-tie sign too,
But
just.
It might be interesting just to have an element from the mural, just like a bouquet of flowers from the plumeria or
Mangrove.
area. Is that, or the mangrove,
Is it
whatever.
a mangrove? I thought it was a
Yeah.
mangrove.
Sorry, mangrove.
Okay.
I don't know. I like it the way it is. I think less is more sometimes, so I'm not opposed to it. The other two towers being negative space, essentially. So this takes your focus. You don't want to diffuse your focus. You want to just focus on this one element, and I think this does it really well. I'd hate to see it smaller.
Well, just
Yeah.
a little bit, because we want to put our name up there, you know, a wall sign that says it is what it is, Mangrove Market.
Out front.
Yeah, you,
Yeah, it's still not getting recognized because you go there, you don't know if it's on which end and everything else.
so is there a reason why tie has their sign up on the biggest area of it?
Tie-tie's on the other side.
On the other corner.
It's the
There's
same,
two of these.
same
It's the same
space.
building.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of space, just two different
Right.
ends.
There's one of these on each
Okay, it just looked
side.
like it was larger on that side. I was over there today looking.
Mr. Berger, can you speak into the microphone, please?
So,
Thanks.
right,
There's two of these are the stairwells on each end.
right.
And then we put an elevator in the middle for the
Mhm.
upstairs, and that one's a little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, would like to propose a mural on that with another store. We're looking at putting there another commercial
Mhm.
item in there. And then we went through 14 months and we got a mixed use, and the upstairs will be apartments, executive suites, and theirs should be done in about 90 days.
I did not know that.
And then we start on the back lot.
And if I could answer your question you all both had, your request was for less than the maximum you're allowed to request. However, if you were to add, as they're mentioning, if you were to add elements to the rest of the building, we'd need to come back to this board.
Yeah, Tie needs they have their sign on theirs, and they've asked us to repaint that for them. We were gonna do it, but, we can come back with more murals later.
But you're going to put
Murals
the
are the
name,
answer.
the marketplace on this one?
Mangrove Marketplace, we're not sure to put it on the top or the bottom. We're allowed a wall sign, like a light wall sign, and we want something to advertise it. Mangrove Market's on this side, because you're not allowed to put flashing lights in the windows and stuff like that.
So
Which is
when I
good.
was over there, I saw that Mangrove Marketplace is on the sign, very small, on the big, the big sign there, and it's very small, and there's some other businesses there. So what is you can't make that bigger, it just says Mangrove Marketplace.
You
This,
have Mangrove Market.
Right, at the
very
top.
top, and then you have tie-tie.
Tie-tie.
And then you have our reader board,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have two underneath. And we're gonna put an arrow, that shows to go in underneath on that, just an arrow directional angle. But when you get in there, we have nothing that says this is the market on this end. You park wherever, and where do you go for the market? And we've had that people come in and ask us, we didn't know it was there. We knew the market, but where is it? Which door? In the middle door, people will come to and try to open or go to that door. So it's some kind of indication we need, like tie-tie has their sign on their thing, and that that's tie-tie. This one just has the mural that we want to make pretty, but you don't know that this side is the market. So I'm open for suggestions.
Trying to picture the writing on this mural.
Yeah,
Right, I mean, it's going to really detract from the mural. The mural's beautiful. We're all 100% on.
Yeah, well, the spotlight on the top.
I
I'm
see
sorry,
that.
Spotlight on the
I
top
see
of the
that.
mural. It kind of detracts from it, so I was thinking that the bushes are going to grow and get green, and we have a multitude of colors there with the crotons and everything, and the red. And I was thinking of, my opinion was just shrink it both about where that line is at the top and up above the shrubs. Make it, just a little smaller, so it looks like 2 feet from the top and about 2 feet from the bottom. Because you don't see the manatee unless you're really careful, and that tree is already grown pretty much.
So, as I'm looking there, you've got some, what plants are there?
There's two
Is that a
crotons.
Trinette?
There's
What is that?
Dracaena.
Dracaena?
variegated Schefferello, and
Yeah.
then the red tie
Scheffler.
plants.
Yeah,
So-
that's-
And those will all get up, the crotons can go up to 16 feet, but we want to get everything, a nice hedge about 3 feet, and then just have it all fill in. And what you see there versus what's already grown is pretty good. It's grown quite a bit nice.
I understand what you're trying to do, and I'm
Right,
okay
and
with
we did it on
shrinking the
both
side,
sides, and we did it
shrinking
in front of the
mural.
elevator. And if you look in front of the elevator shaft, the one that's up about this big is a variegated croton, and that came, the lady behind us in the storage, Kathy gave us that. She had plants she was growing out in front of her place, and it came from her.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, she's real nice.
Well, I like the mural like it is. I think it really adds to it. And I think that the light up there could be a ground light shooting up at the mural and eliminate the big one that's hanging off the side.
I agree with you.
You can't
but-
have uplights? You can't have uplights shining on the building?
The code does have restriction on uplighting.
Oh, I thought there were a lot of, at the hotel across the street. Okay, well,
We plan to put a light when the mirror's in there. We plan to change that light and put one underneath, but we have to put another light somewhere else so you don't trip. It's got to be lit up with certain illuminants at night.
yes,
like
okay.
code. We kind of want Tesla to give us some lights to light up their area better too, but we're going to put some in anyway, after we get a permit.
I make a motion that we approve the mural for the Mangrove Market project.
I second. Renee, could you call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Morgan,
I approve.
Board Member Paisley,
Approve.
Board Member Trulock,
Approve.
and Chair Nanstadt.
Approve. All right, moving onward.
Thank you.
Can we put the board meeting schedule to the last and move up to open discussion?
I think you still need to recognize that the items are continued for the record.
Oh.
The next two on the agenda.
Items 7 and 8 will be continued at the applicant's request.
Have a motion on that, please? Motion to postpone.
A motion, I make a motion, we postpone the items 7 and 8. Renee, could you call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Morgan,
Yes.
Board Member Paisley?
Yes.
Board Member Trulock? And Chair Nienstedt.
Yes. Open discussion. We have a member in the audience, Tom Stobie. Can you come up to the lectern, please?
So, did you amend the agenda order? I think that requires official motion and
I make a
second.
motion, we amend the agenda order, and put establishing a board meeting schedule last, and move to open discussion. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you. Renee?
Vice Chair Morgan?
Yes.
Board Member Paisley? Board Member Trulock? Chairman Nienstedt.
4. Okay, Tom.
I am Tom Stobie. I live over in the Oaks at 201 International Drive in Cape Canaveral. I can tell from our discussion tonight that you're very interested in the appearance of Cape Canaveral, and I wanted to just bring to your attention a tremendous eyesore, and it takes place over at Nancy Hansen. The tennis courts, the pickleball courts are an embarrassment, really, because people come, now we have leagues taking place coming from other towns. The courts are so worn that they're almost getting to be dangerous. The top layers are worn off at places, so it's getting slick, and they've needed to be resurfaced for a long, long time. It came to my attention recently that there are plans and money budgeted for a concession stand in town. Am I correct about that? Are you familiar with the concession stand? Okay.
I can fill in, that is part of the budget for the CRA, but this board doesn't have, they don't hear those items.
Okay,
The
all
CRA.
right. Well, the reason I bring it up is that I believe that the money would be much better spent resurfacing the courts than building a concession stand. A couple of reasons. The concession stand is something that's used a few times a year, maybe 30, maybe even 50 times a year. The courts are used 365 days a year. They had last year 9,000 visits. 9,000 times people checked into Nancy Hansen. The courts brought revenue back to the town of $25,000 last year. A concession stand doesn't bring any revenue back to the town and is used much less than the courts are used. And for about the same amount of money to build a concession stand, these courts could be resurfaced, which would be a great benefit to many of the visitors who come in, people coming in from other towns, and just the local residents who play there every single day. So I would just like to bring that to your attention, and especially because I do believe for the appearance of Cape Canaveral, that's something that could be improved drastically. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this something for the Parks and Rec to take care of, or?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the comments, but those comments would be better addressed to the city council. This board's only purview is, community aesthetics review. So in terms of budget and appropriations and the priority of capital projects for the city of Cape Canaveral, those comments are better addressed with the city council who makes those decisions.
I certainly, though, appreciate you speaking before us. We did not know anything about the concession stand or the condition of the pickleball courts, although I am going to learn how to play soon. I heard it's really good exercise. And the tennis courts, absolutely, absolutely. And so thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Spending money, I'd like to see new lights on the tennis courts.
Yeah, so I guess we need to go to town council meetings more, or read our, yeah, but also read the, when we're given, when we all get notices on when the town council meets and so forth, and attend some meetings regularly. because I did not know that. So that's on us or me. Anyway, that's very interesting.
Item number 9, establish a board meeting schedule.
Yes, so for the last item, first I want to start off by introducing our new planner who started last week. This is Connor Ford.
Thank you, folks, for attending.
Yes, thank you.
This is Connor Ford, our new planner, and as you know, I'm been here since August, still new. I've found some process improvement opportunities in the department, one of which is related to board meetings. Staff has been spending significant amount of time finding quorum, finding dates that work for the board, for staff, for the applicants, and of course the public. And so what I've proposed is at each board's initial meeting in 2025, so you all are the second board I've talked about this with, a regular schedule every year. So your board's a little bit different in that it's actually established in our city code that you all would meet the first or third Wednesday of every month. So the conversation with you all is a bit easier because it would just be recommending that your board meet the first Wednesday of every month. Now there's a caveat. If there's no applications that are submitted and deemed complete, you would have a month lead time knowing you are not going to meet. And the way that comes through is that by establishing a board meeting agenda board meeting schedule, that allows us to establish application deadlines. And so applicants know it's published online, we have the consistency there. If I want to be on this board agenda, I need to submit a complete application by this date, usually a month in advance. So all of the boards, even boards that don't consider applications like the bed board, would have that at least month lead time of knowing, oh, we're not gonna meet. But the point of this is to let you know if you, best possible scenario, your calendars are blocked for the evenings of the first Monday of every month as a board member. But you might be free. So if you all want to, I don't know if you want to discuss.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Make a motion. Any items on the agenda, we meet the first Wednesday of the month at 6.
Second.
Renee?
Second.
Okay, so it's the first and third Wednesday, but we're going to go for the first.
So code
That's the
allows.
code, right. Okay, because I thought that's what you said, and then when you said it again, I thought you said Monday. So
Yes, I misspoke. It's been a long day.
No, that's okay, because
I apologize.
Okay, so, yeah.
And that doesn't preclude you all from meeting on the third Wednesday of any month if you all would like to, if there's an emergency in subsequent years. This is just the proposal for 2025.
Okay.
Vice Chair Morgan,
I approve, yes, we'll do that.
Board Member Paisley,
Approve.
Board Member Trulock,
Approve.
Chairman Yanstadt.
Or
Having approved that, would it ever be possible to have a training session?
Robert's Rules of Order?
That's on my list of projects.
Comments and what's not? I would love that.
Yes.
1000%.
Exactly.
So when we don't have applicants in front of us, we could talk about things that we're supposed to be doing.
And great opportunity would be a night that we don't have an agenda item. Like right now, we don't have agenda items for next month beyond the 2 continued items if they're ready.
Yep, perfect. Love it.
I do have a question. When someone on A1A decides to change the color or anything, are they supposed to go through the city to, for like
Depends on the
really bold
extent.
colors?
Yes, so I can pull up the code exactly, actually. Unless anyone knows it off the top of their head. Okay. So the way that the City Code of Ordinances is written right now, the Community Appearance Board reviews any project that changes the visual impact or effect on community. Now, there's two levels. The murals and the facade improvements, according to the way code is now, is level 2. The city manager can also deem it insignificant enough to not need to come to the board. Murals actually are in a different code in the zoning ordinance that they must come to you.
Right, the murals, but this is just,
Commercial. So it states new or altered buildings or structures except fences, roofs. So including commercial, residential subdivisions, 4 or more multifamily residential attached. So we had that 5 unit before, and mixed use, which we don't have any
okay.
before. So any visual impact is what it states.
Could the planning department, when working with people who are going to present to us, like this, the gentleman with the
Facade, the front,
the facades change. He brought all his colors, he brought all his materials to the best of his ability, and it made the job much easier for us. Instead of like hunting around, where can we find a blue color that will satisfy Mr. Berger and his clients?
Absolutely. We actually, one of Connor's first tasks is to update all of our applications to include the requirements that are already in code. And to include, we don't need paper copies, we're all digital now, things like that. Working on that.
The city code technically requires materials, texture, and color boards depicting location of colors.
Exactly.
So that really should be presented to the board by the applicant. And it's fair if the applicant doesn't have one when they're presenting, it's fair to, for the board to perhaps postpone the item until you get one.
You hate to slow the wheels of progress.
Well, and to clarify, now that we are fully staffed in the planning side of things, we will be, if they don't have that, they don't have it ready to go, it would not be deemed complete and ready for review by you guys. We would require it to be.
I kind of felt like they weren't even ready. I mean, how do you know a color from a copy? I mean, how do you know that? And then I felt like, what are you going to do? I mean, these guys, and then he did the drawings, and I really felt like I really didn't do a very good job of knowing exactly what was going to go there in the colors in a neighborhood that really needs a facelift.
There was
Yeah,
a
what am I
long
gonna
discussion
And
last.
so I probably should have said, no, I don't go with it, but would have gone through unless somebody else did as well. But so, and I felt, he's been here for 40 years. Does he live in Cape Canaveral? No, he lives in Cocoa Beach. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying this. Am I on record?
This is record, yes.
But anyways, well, I'm just saying how I feel. So I felt like I couldn't be prepared because he wasn't prepared. And I didn't have what I needed to make a really good decision. And I felt very boxed in.
And it's our duty.
You saw our reluctance.
In that we didn't have a chairman, we had to vote that, and now we do.
now we do.
Amen to that. And that we were, I didn't really feel very professional up here with all these people here and getting my point across, but I felt like I needed more information. And to table it, these people are spending money and time. They've got, I don't know if they got a mortgage, they're paying interest, whatever, and I feel for them. I want it to be, always be fair. But I felt that I wasn't getting what I needed.
I appreciate those comments. It is our duty to give you all the information you would need to make the most informed decision, and deeming the application complete in
Now I
the
know I
future,
can
that
say,
would
well, can't do it, I need,
Yeah, you could
I
see
need more
all of our
information.
reluctance.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah, that I needed more
this is killing
information.
us to
And then
approve
we
it.
weren't saying and wording things right, so we need to brush up on that, so we know what we're doing, so we don't, seem like we're,
And can I just add that when you do receive the agenda packets, that if you have any questions or comments or any issues, that you are always welcome to provide those comments to us before the meeting.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, we'll have a whole
You
bunch of
mean
pen
the two
scratching here.
emails, one 53 pages and the other one 33 pages? That
Mostly
I couldn't
pictures.
see? I'm like, I can't see.
And you're trying to blow it up too, to
I
see
do.
every, I know.
I mean, I do, but it's
Very hard to,
it's like I can't see it.
yeah, I agree with you. It's very difficult to not have.
That was a
everything
lot,
out.
yeah.
But other than that, I think we did good.
But, no, I was asking about the colors because, every time I pass by the bright red on A1A, I'm like, wow, how'd that get approved?
Yeah, I made a note to check with our code, and as I'm updating the application process, we'll make sure that it's in compliance with code and that they bring the materials.
Thank you so much, thank you, thank you.
I know we're not Seaside, but they have a color palette that they approve. And they have there are no horizontal windows in Seaside and things like that. I mean, I don't know if it's the purview of this committee to get to some design criteria for the community that would help our developers if we were saying, we want to look like this,
So you're more than welcome to ask to agendize an item potentially like that, but what I will say is we do currently in our code have an overlay district that is mostly over A1A and North Atlantic and the surrounding properties.
Yeah.
It's called the A1A, not equal opportunity, economic opportunity overlay district that was adopted, I believe, 12, 15 or so years ago and has not been touched since 2015. That is actually already on my list of things to look at, updating. And that would be that opportunity, either expanding those boundaries, creating a new district, whatever it is. It's definitely a big project. But I will also mention that the bed board that met last Thursday, they approved us to get an RFP out for economic development element of the comprehensive plan, which we don't currently have. It's not mandatory, but a lot of cities use it as a tool. And as you all know, you are viewing applications for one of the things is for conformance with the comprehensive plan, of which that would become a part. So maybe that comes out of that. There's lots of avenues. But I'd like to engage more with you all on those things.
Okay.
We're we now.
I don't have a comment card that can speak. Can I ask a question, Anthony? I don't have a comment card. Can I ask a question?
Oh, you can fill out a comment card.
I'll get one and fill it.
No, you can fill it out after you speak.
Okay.
I'll vouch for your identity.
Thank you. Okay. I guess this isn't on, but I'm pretty loud. I'm Kay Jackson, City Council, and I want to thank all of you for what you're doing. And I've been on council for a year in November, so I had a question about architectural style and design and that kind of thing, because like our city council, our city hall building has this Mediterranean almost feel. And then we have a building right next door with the Cape Center that looks more modern. And I thought that we had in one of our plans, and Anthony, you might even know this, if we had design elements that we were encouraging people to use for new designs. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of boxy, it's like this new trend, everything's so boxy.
Cheap.
And so I'm trying to determine, do we have anything like that? I don't want to be ignorant because I'm still going through documentation just like you all are, but I was curious about that.
Yep, the A1A Economic Opportunity Overlay District, it's quite lengthy. It's a good read. But right now, that's in our code, mostly guidelines. But for example, you mentioned the boxiness. We do have in our code certain requirements for step backs. So maybe your first floor is, conforms to certain setbacks, but your second floor recedes a little bit for whatever reason. CAB does currently in our code have the authority to approve things like that.
Okay, but I'm talking about more architectural style, because I thought that we had feedback from the community on one of the documents that we've worked on in the past that defined what we wanted our city to look like, what style.
Okay.
And we're getting, and this is going on everywhere with this boxy new architecture. It's like the concrete box on the beach, when you go to any city that is on the barrier islands. And so you look at the Radisson, and it's got this more of a Key West type of style.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's been so
crown
updated,
jewel.
it's just amazing. But then we're getting these new designs and I'm just now getting into learning about this board, so I apologize it's taken me so long, but I'm interested in what you all do and what you think, because as we go forward, we even have the example of our city buildings being this way. So I was wondering, because I thought that we did, Brianna.
I will look into it. I've just made a note.
Thank you. That was my question. I was wondering, do we have any kind of guidance with that? Thank you, and thank you all for serving on our board.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you. Knowing who you are. Cape Canaveral is a very old, sleepy little beach town. And I think the beauty of that is that we have a lot of different styles. And I know that we need to come together and plan and have structure and plan different things. But I think that is what makes it so charming, is that there are different styles of architecture, and that somehow, and the hard thing is how to blend them all so that they do complement each other. And and I know the box you're talking about. It's so all over everywhere. All the new shopping centers, you can go all through Florida or the United States and see, okay, this is when this was built, this is when this was built, this is when this was built. And then sometimes you have a marriage between them all, and the old ones get taken down, maybe something new goes up beside it. But I think there is a way where you can have some continuity and just, have it flow so that it just has a charming, feel. One thing, though, that does bother me is with all the hotels and the new wave, the waves, whatever going up over there, and everything that's going on, is that we still do not have safe egress across A1A.
Correct, you don't.
And that is a very big, big, big thing, and I know it has to do with city, county, state, federal. But it is an issue that is very important, that our citizens can cross the road, back and forth, enjoy everything at the beach. And I don't know what needs to be done, if we need to have people go around with a petition so that we get someone's attention that it is accidents waiting to happen, and there's no reason for it. I mean, with the budgets and so forth, I don't know how much we as a city would have to contribute or, write grants for or whatever. Even just a fly bridge, a beautiful, fly bridge, just a pedestrian bridge is what I mean, not a fly bridge, so that we have good egress that's lit up and says, welcome to Cape Canaveral, or whatever. It shouldn't be that difficult. And it's sure maybe the beauty part of it and spending the money on lighting and welcome to Cape Canaveral, but the safety issue is big time. And so I'm giving, you can speak on that, and whatever I can do to help that, I will.
Actually, FDOT is working right now and has had a public hearing early January that was a virtual public hearing, which is really interesting because who even heard about it? I actually heard about it, or dug for it. And I know that they have it all planned out and budgeted, but this is no easy task because
Right.
they're looking at doing construction from 95 into us, all the way down to, is it International Drive, I believe?
Yeah, where they were gonna put the roundabout, but
Right.
thank goodness they're not, yeah.
So it will include some of those safety measures, and they had a public hearing at the community center last year that we all were able to go see their mock-ups of where they would put those.
Yes.
My feedback was, look where people cross, because they were putting them in places that I hadn't seen anyone crossing in those spots.
Cross everywhere.
So and admittedly, I may not be out as much as a lot of people are on the roads, but I gave them that feedback because I wanted to know, when did you come look? Well, they looked in like October, and I said, well, that doesn't do you much good. You need to come look in February. Okay, and then you'll really see what's happening. So I gave some of that kind of feedback, but I know that they move forward. They have some things budgeted, and they have a plan. Now, when that starts or whatever, I'll be honest with you, Don Willis would have more information since he works with FDOT. But I do know from having gone to that public virtual hearing or gotten online with it, that they did have the budget out for it. And it was going to be, boy, when they start it, we'll all know it because it's going to go for years.
The only thing I wanted was, like when you're at the light at Buchanan, gonna go on to A1A, there's a sign across the street that says turning cars yield to pedestrians. We really need that for the ones that are turning onto North Atlantic, because numerous times I've almost gotten hit because I walk and I have to cross there, and when they're turning, the heck with me, they're gonna make that turn onto North Atlantic.
Well, and it's getting increasingly, in my opinion, just my opinion as a citizen that lives here, it's getting increasingly more increasingly more difficult to be safe walking in our city.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no,
And
absolutely.
it's not just A1A
It's not, it's gonna
anymore.
be, it is.
It's all over, even the side streets. And
Yeah.
so the ability to make make a safer environment for our citizens that live here and walk and bike and things like that. But I'm going to tell you that's been fairly difficult from what I've seen, because even our visitors that are coming into town, they're not going basically by hardly any of the rules that I've seen. They're on sidewalks with golf carts. They're riding e-bikes on the bike path, almost wiping out people that are walking or jogging. So I do believe we have some challenges on our hands as far as ensuring that we have safe, capability to walk and bike in our city.
And what I would recommend, since this isn't an agendized item, we have a committee focused on these things, Local Roads Committee. It's a public meeting that, it's actually during the daytime. I believe the next meeting's beginning of March. It has not been set yet, but it is a public meeting, and they are looking at exactly these things.
Do we get the notice for that? Because I haven't seen any.
They only meet every quarter,
Oh, every quarter.
so
Oh,
that
I
might
see.
be why.
Okay. Yeah,
But it's not sent directly to us, it's public,
it's public, right?
on the public.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
It's not just sent like to us, since we're kind of like special.
Well,
But
we
it
usually
should
get-
not, you should not have to take your life
Just to cross.
jeopardy to
yeah.
go to the twisty treat. And even just, I don't know what the answer is, because people don't want to, you get to Cocoa Beach and it goes down to 35. You come over here, it's 60, 55, and then it goes to 45. That's still way too fast for this area. It absolutely is. And I understand there's big trucks and there's people pulling in here to, bring, supplies into the different places. But just like I said before, just a pedestrian bridge, like they cross a busy road to go to school, because school's on the other side.
I'm right with
Can I
you
interrupt,
on that.
please?
I think some of the old school solutions might help.
Can we adjourn the meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
If we're off
I
topic?
second it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Yep.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.